Good afternoon, or it'll be afternoon, 12:30 here. I hope everyone's doing well. It's a Monday morning and it's actually a beautiful sky here in Inverness. It's a big change from a couple of weeks ago where we were covered in snow. I hope everyone's going well. Hopefully we'll hear something today about the football getting back on a grassroots level as well, and I'm sure that'll be a big relief for a lot of us. And you get back to your clubs and do some training and that there as well. So hope everyone's good. I was really pleased. Hi there. Great. I was really kind of pleased that everyone liked the cartoons that I was putting up there, so I'm going to do them quite frequently because I think they're a good way of communicating some key ideas really kind of simply there as well. What we were speaking about, what we were talking about in that series of cartoons was the whole concept of visualization and how it can be used at whatever level you're at, really. You know, at a very high level, you know, you can visualize. I speak to players playing at a very high level the whole time. I'm always encouraging them to visualize. A lot of them do it very naturally as well, and as a performance coach, we're wanting to try to help them do it with a conscious intention to increase their how they play. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the visualization. When we think about visualization, what we're talking about is using our imagination, using something that is there and we use the whole time anyway, and packaging it up or putting it in a framework. We can use it intentionally as a player or as a coach or a trainer. We can help our players kind of use that in a way that would enhance their game or help them play better. So if you imagine as a kid, you know, as a 6, 7, 8, as a 3 and a 4 year old, we're using our imagination the whole time. You know, 8, 9, 10, 11, and right the way through our adult lives, we're using our imagination. But what tends to happen as we get a little bit older, if we don't watch, we don't use our imagination as much, or certainly we don't use it in a sports context as much, or tell people we do. So if you imagine when you're a kid, that's how you make sense of the world, that's how you play games, that's how you start to create your future. You know, you're running about the park with your mates, or you're running about in the playground and you're pretending you're one of your idols. You know, you're pretending you're whoever it is that you follow, your key player, and you're knocking the ball in the net and you're off, yes, it's in. And you are actually use your imagination to look and create something, create a possibility in your future. You know, if you look at very young kids, that is how they make sense of the world. You know, they play. So it's about our inner world here and how we're kind of making sense of the outside, but also it's helping us create possibilities for ourselves from a very young age. Now, in that kind of cartoon set that I was speaking about, we can imagine, now visualization, I'll come back to that in a minute about the cartoon set, but visualization isn't a guarantee something's going to happen just because you visualize it. Okay? What it is a sense of what's possible for you when everything clicks, when everything's right. Why it's so powerful, when we use our visual kind of imagination to make pictures in our brain, we're communicating with our unconscious mind. We're also using the same neural pathways as if it was to happen. Okay, not exactly with the same strength, but if you visualize well, you can feel it. That's what nostalgia is, or when you remember when you've had a good game, or when you scored, or when you've been at a big game and you're surrounded by 10,000 people and everyone's singing, or you've won the cup. You know, you can feel the tingle in the back of your neck. That is neurological, that is science. That is because your imagination, the pictures, triggers chemicals in the body that says, whoa, I want more of that, or I want to be a part of that, or that wasn't that great. So when we visualize, we're tapping into the same neural pathways, and then putting software down on it. So we're actually running a program that says, you know what, I'm visualizing myself getting on the end of a cross 6 yards out. I can see myself getting on the end of it and flying past the keeper. Now that doesn't guarantee that would happen, but what it does is it does a few things. A, it makes you feel good when you're thinking about it, so that's always a good thing. So it's creating that feelings of I want to go and practice. B, you want to, if I'm visualizing scoring or getting on the end of a header, in that cartoon it was about scoring a goal from 10 yards out. In order to give me the most chance that that'll happen, I want to practice having shots in the box from all around the 10-yard area. Not just with no one there. I might want to be crossing and passing drills. Might play 2-on-1s. I might play kind of passes off my mate and me getting on the end of it. So I want to practice the functional skills plus the mental side, plus the psychological side. So that comes together and gives us the most chance. The other thing it's doing, so you're marrying up the visual, the psychological stuff with the physical, but it's also priming your brain. Okay, so when you put in imagination and visualization about going to play a match, and you know how you're going to play against, it's priming your unconscious mind, that bit that is just taking everything in. It's priming it for cues to happen on the park. So you just might notice the ball coming off the defender's leg at a funny angle, but you visualise that and you react a little bit sooner. So you're primed. So many, especially strikers I know, will tell me that. They tell me they just knew it was going to break off the defender because they probably thought about it in some sort of area, or if they're very experienced, your unconscious mind goes through thousands of different scenarios, and in a split second it goes, I recognise that, I'm going to move there. Now, if you haven't thought about it the whole time, doesn't mean you won't score it, but what it means is you have to actually maybe split second think about it a little bit more, and then the picture change. Maybe the central defender will go and block you. Great example of that. If anyone has ever seen Wayne Rooney a few years ago spoke about using FIFA at that point, it would have been FIFA 2012 to before he was playing on the Thursday, he would set the teams up who he was playing against, and he would imagine he was playing against the defender who was marking him. And of course what he's doing is, when he's using the controls in his mind, he's imagining and getting round the player and creating all sorts of scenarios. He would set the game up playing on the right strips as well if they were home and away. So visualization is really powerful. Incredible, simple thing to use and very powerful. Get in the habit of doing a bit more. So if you'd like to hear more about visualization, drop me a message below. Also for you coaches around, I'm going to be running another small group advanced language course. This is really about a group of about 8 coaches, 8 to 10 or so, and I've run them a few times, but it's a decent deep level small group, confidential. We can kind of speak about our personal experiences as well and see what works, what doesn't work. If anyone's wanting to have information about that or join, it fills up pretty quickly, and it's not a cheap program, but it's really kind of worth it as well. So have a great morning and great afternoon, rest of the day, and I'll pop on again, and watch out for the cartoons because I'm going to be putting another one up there as well about something. Okay, have a good one.